So we have another Diedricksen Brothers fully hands-on workshop in Los Angeles, Feb 3rd, 4th, 5th. Tiny House Magazine has a brand new issue out now, tinyhousemagazine.com, and thanks to Blaster, the #1 penetrant for breaking free rusted parts, who helped us with this video. All right, we are back with Mike Bedsole, Tiny House Chattanooga. I'm Deek from RelaxShacks.com, hanging out outside Chattanooga to check out not only your facility here, but one of your new creations. Good to see you again.
Yes, sir. No, we appreciate it. Definitely.
This is we've done a couple of videos with you now because I really dig your work.
No, we appreciate it.
And you've outdone yourself yet again. This is something. Well, wait, I'll let you tell the story.
Sure. Yeah. This is for a traveling nurse couple. They're actually about to take it to Alaska for 3 months, which is pretty cool. If you want, we can head on in if you like, or we can talk about the outside first. If you like.
Yeah, talk about the outside real quick. I also want to ask. Let's head to Alaska. So, have you built this one differently than you would others in terms of insulation?
This one, no. They just literally just told me it was going to Alaska.
Yeah.
This would not be rated for the winter of Alaska.
Okay.
This is all through the summer, so it's not a big deal. Now I can build them that way.
Yeah.
I have to just know it. So there
And
will be definitely some changes.
You're talking super insulated, depending where in Alaska, and you start losing some interior space.
Absolutely.
That was my question. Yeah, let's talk about the exterior siding here, because this is kind of interesting. It looks real good, and when I came in here, I was asking about this. I was a little bit surprised as to what it was.
Well, we went with this. One, I never used it, but number two, for this build, it was a price point change. You can do a normal tongue groove pine or cedar, right? Well, this is a 4x8 sheet good, so it goes up faster, saves you some money, but it has a nice grain pattern. And so, literally, if I didn't tell you it wasn't tongue groove pine, you might not know actually.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was some kind of like hardy planks and board like that.
yeah, we like hardy, but it's very heavy, so we choose just to stay away from that.
Yeah,
but,
good point as well.
You can see here also they mixed a little bit of the metal in there. This is all done per their spec, of course, all custom. So they mixed in some corrugated metal with it, or excuse me, standing seam.
Yeah.
Right.
This stuff goes up quick though. It's durable. It looks good.
Yep.
This kind of has like a modern feel to it.
Absolutely.
You've done a bunch of different styles, but this definitely has like almost industrial modern a little bit.
Sure.
And the color scheme's great too. The gray, the maroonish red.
Yeah, definitely.
And the two-tone.
And all this stuff was chosen by them, which is pretty nice.
Oh,
They
okay.
helped to come up with that. I helped them with kind of the layouts and things like that, but color choices, they can just go wild,
Yeah.
You can see right there, we have one of our fresh air exchanger vents up there. We put those in every build.
Standing seam roof as
Standing
well.
seam roof, absolutely. Got a 4-foot double door right there. It's an all composite door, so it will not rot.
It's RVIA certified or gonna be?
Oh, it will, yes, sir.
Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah.
This is the first one you're doing. It's RVIA certified.
Yeah, this is our very first one. There's quite a few things you have to do different,
Yeah.
but once you get past a couple of the rules, it's not that complicated. They come check us every 2 months what we're doing.
Okay.
And so actually next week the guy will be here doing the final.
So, in steps as you progress through the build,
Absolutely.
they come to visit to make sure you're not cutting any corners. Okay.
Exactly.
I was wondering how laborious or painful that process was, but
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, literally, you could build one before they even come back, technically.
Okay.
But you have checklists you have to follow and all that good stuff. So
right.
as long as you have all your checklists done and everything, and they see you're doing things properly, you're certified as you go.
a lot of people I see also photographically back up everything just
Exactly.
in case. Like
Yep.
before you close that wall, take a zillion pictures.
We do the
Worst
same.
case, they can
Yep.
go back and look at that.
Absolutely.
So
We'll do a
just
video.
a little tip for you kids.
Yeah, we'll do a little video tour
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
open wall before the phone goes in.
Smart, yeah.
Absolutely.
Keep that paper trail, video trail. Let's go inside.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yep, thanks. Now we have another video on the channel of the Nuga Blue Sky, one of his early models, and that thing took off.
Absolutely.
It's like approaching like 1 million views. This kind of has the layout somewhat similar, but you've tweaked, changed a few
Absolutely.
things.
Yeah. Yeah, they took what they saw there, which they liked everything. We just modified a few pieces to fit them better.
Yeah.
Right. They wanted a little bit deeper loft, so it's a little bit deeper.
Okay.
So the stairs came this way some. So like the day bed we had in our other one,
Yeah.
you wouldn't go to do the slide out part of it. Okay?
All right, yeah.
All right. So they do have a day bed for this. They bought themselves, but it pulls out strictly storage, not a bed.
Okay.
So it still works here. All right. But as far as the colors and everything else, like I said, they chose that. They chose the butcher block countertops.
Those are
I
really
helped
nice, yeah.
them design the cabinet layout based on the needs of their storage. And so, for example, obviously there's nothing missing in here. We did change a couple things. In this one, for example, you have a hanging storage here, also in the bathroom. So you have 2 spots instead of 1.
Gotcha. Yeah, for the full length garments.
Of course, all these are doors.
Yeah, I love it. Every inch here, there's storage.
There's little shelves in that one as well.
Yeah, and even down here.
Absolutely, both of those open as well. I mean, plenty of storage in here.
That's great. The Tantu steps they call it. These are nice and wide too. A lot of times I see people
That's
fill.
about a 27-inch wide tread, probably.
Is it okay?
It's a 24-inch cabinet, all standard, right? Of course, you can do handrails if you want.
Yeah.
Most don't choose to do them, but that's what they wanted.
But I've been in a couple tiny houses where they make the steps, you know, Tantu style, but they're about this wide. And as you're ascending the steps, you're kind of being pushed off by the wall, and it's a little bit dangerous.
Exactly. We try to think of the function. That's
This
my
is
biggest
nice.
thing. I mean, you want it to look nice, and that's great, but
Yeah.
how does it function? Because you can do a really nice tiny house and it be wrong.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Nothing works right.
For
so-
actual usability.
Exactly.
You get the loft off here.
Yep, loft right
up
there.
Second loft.
That's strictly storage for them, so it was built that way on purpose. And
Okay.
even the placement of their mini split is there on purpose. It's pretty nice.
You got the ladder here that kind of clips onto the wall.
Yep.
out
It's
of the
actually
way.
locked to it right now, so it can't move or bounce.
Yeah,
That's the fresh air exchanger. There's a pair of them. Okay, there's one there and one over here,
yeah,
and they cycle, of course, in and out. They're also heat recovery,
yeah.
so they don't suck in cold or hot air like they would normally. With our stairs, though, and what we try to do is do a really hard finish on them as well. I've noticed a lot of
Yeah.
times your floors just get beat up overused, so we did basically a gym floor finish on these, so these pretty much will never scratch.
Yeah, you're telling me they really hold up with,
Yeah,
you know, if
very
you have dogs going up that.
Yep.
And this is gonna be a high traffic area too.
Yeah, and
so-
they have a big dog, so it was on purpose.
And not only that, when you approach coming to the house, this is pretty visible first thing. You don't want to look at these gouges and scratches,
Absolutely.
and that wood's beautiful, the grain there too.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, these here,
Yeah,
I love them.
Yeah, butcher block. They chose the color of it as well as far as the stain. We played around about 10 different colors and found one that worked out
Yeah.
for them.
It's great, all the character in here. Let's
Yeah,
have a little like, you know,
Yeah.
junctions.
So you want things to be
pearl
smooth,
slices,
but you don't
yeah.
want to take it all the way either.
Yeah,
You know, so, but it's also a look. It depends on the person, you know. So, over here is our double bowl sink. We have to cut this one more time. We haven't finished that yet, but we kept this for them so they could have a extra prep space.
That's great,
of course.
yeah.
So we'll cut it down a little bit, put a hole so you can lift it, but it'll function quite nice.
It's a sizable enough sink too. You know, you're seeing
Yeah.
some of the tiny houses. That's one of the most common mistakes I feel. These little dinky, like someone took a sardine can and made it to a
And
sink.
they're really shallow.
Yeah, what are you gonna
I
wash?
mean, they
one
make a
teacup?
smaller one,
Yeah,
but it's deep enough. That's okay. But the ones that are really shallow, you're just splashing water
Yeah.
everywhere, you know. But we did a couple things different. These cabinets here, instead of having a full door, they've got a drawer down here, which is kind of cool. Backs up to the fender well.
now is this what's in here? Okay, yeah, you got some
Still
storage
have some
beneath
room in
there.
there. But a lot of times you'll see
That's
in a
easy
cabinet.
to access too, to work on some
Yeah,
of the
sure.
plumbing down here. Yeah.
Well, see what you see a lot of times, you have a cabinet like this and it takes up all this space.
Yeah.
Well, all you have in there is chemicals usually. Well, why would you want to take up all your cabinet space for chemicals? Well, now you have enough for that type of stuff, and you have enough to put your pots and pans or whatever
Yeah.
you choose. To me, you lose a lot with two doors.
Definitely.
So we made that change actually. This right here will be a sliding stove. It's just not here yet. It should be here in a couple days.
Look, your little is this, you know, you
Yep,
put
they
your
open
cooking
up.
trays or whatever in
Yep, you
there.
can take
and
that out.
Take that out. Yep.
Yep.
That's cool.
This is where the electrical panel is down here. There's also a
Oh.
drawer right there. The cabinet guy took it with him to do a little modification there to make it work. Gas shut off, DC panel, AC panel, all works the same as at home, just a little bit different.
Easy access, but you know, tucked away too,
Yep.
so you're not looking at the thing.
Exactly. Because the way we look at it, it's all about function. Is where do you have to hide things? Whether it's the water
Oh,
heater,
yeah.
electrical panel. Well, I've never really liked the gray panel just sitting behind something.
No.
You know, you can
and
hide
you
it.
don't want it deep behind something because
Right.
you don't have access to
Exactly.
it. Then you're in trouble potentially.
If you want to turn around here, I'll show you. This one has a hidden gun cabinet.
Really?
A lock. They'll have the lock put on Monday, but this is a double tray gun cabinet. Guy's
Oh.
got some pretty large guns.
Okay.
And so this was actually made strictly for that. And he's going to put some foam in the bottom and everything. It'll have a lock on it, so it's locked.
Oh, all right. Yeah,
So-
that's pretty smart and important.
Absolutely.
You get the fridge, good
Yeah,
size,
7.4 cubic feet.
Yep.
Of course, you got your drawer down there as well. Plenty of storage.
the whiskey drawer.
The whiskey drawer.
All right, yeah.
Yeah,
You do these in a lot of your tiny houses,
Yep.
sliding doors. I really like
We
them.
like the
They're
barn
fun.
doors. I personally do not like pocket doors.
Yeah.
I'd rather just put you one of these in.
Nice track here. That's very slick
Yep.
looking.
And of course, we've got a lock for it for when it's traveling. You push it in, it's got a little friction on it, so it shouldn't bounce
Yeah.
off when you're moving.
Yeah.
But,
Now I'm going to stay out of the way for the bathroom because
Sure,
I'm going to
yeah.
let Dustin roam into there and talk to
Absolutely.
you about that.
but of course, you have a washer dryer combo in here as well. This particular unit came with that. Underneath it is the hot water heater. It's a propane instant water heater. It's kind of just tucked in this cabinet in here. Shut off valve, everything else you might need. Stand up shower. They went with a Galvalume corrugated metal in there, which is pretty nice.
It's simple too, but
Waterproof light as well. This is
Yeah.
waterproof. Yeah, it's simple but nice. This is just bent. There's no brakes, so it can't leak of any kind. And it's pretty roomy. You know, I mean, you got plenty of
Yeah.
room. Some of the surrounds are nice, but they actually come in some, so you
Yeah.
lose some of the space.
Well, I
so-
notice in your builds, you always have some fairly spacious bathrooms. I mean, if people can be spending time in here,
Sure.
they don't want to be shoehorned.
Exactly.
Like, for instance, look at the toilet right here. You have shoulder room side to side.
Mm-hmm.
You know, me being a bigger dude or Dustin on the camera, we've stayed in some tiny houses where we can barely sit in the
Exactly.
toilet. You're like eating your own
It's
shoulders.
literally comes down to function. Is how does
Yeah.
that fit? You know, just enough size pedestal. You can go smaller, but you can also go bigger. We like these because it's just enough.
Yeah, but if you
you
go
know?
too small, you know, you can barely
Right.
fit a hand in there to
Right.
wash.
And if you go too
But
big,
that's-
you can't get in here and you can't get over there.
Yeah.
You know,
The
so
old gut suck to reach the
Absolutely.
shower.
Yeah, there's hanging storage in there. Like I said, 2 spots for hanging in this house. All your drawers, of course.
Yeah. Again, Mike Bedsole from Tiny House Chattanooga, tinyhousechattanooga.com, and
Yes, sir.
thank you,
Appreciate it.
sir.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you.
The place is fantastic. His facility is amazing too. I'm not gonna tell people where it is, but
Right.
you'll see the footage.
We hide back here on purpose.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right.
Again, I'm Deek from relaxjacks.com. See you.
Thanks, guys.